So there was one other topic I wanted to talk about tonight, and it kind of comes out of, or is related to what we were talking about earlier. And this is the idea of saving what we love versus fighting what we hate. And this actually came
Oh,
from,
that's a good one.
yeah, this actually came from a Star Wars movie. I think it's the most recent one that came out, the Last Jedi, I think. Right at the end, or close to the end, there's this scene where one of the characters, Finn, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but the First Order is storming the rebel base and they're about to destroy it. And there's this big battering ram cannon that's going to blow up the main wall. And so Finn, things are really desperate. He's going to try to save everyone by going kamikaze and destroying the battering ram cannon and ramming his speeder into it. So he's on his collision course and he's made his peace with dying. But then another character, Rose, rams into him and knocks him out of the way and prevents him from killing himself. And afterwards he's like, "What are you doing? Why'd you do that?" And she said the line, she's like, "This is how we win, by saving what we love, not fighting what we hate." I think that's a really good message and a really interesting way to think about things. Because when we save what we love, then we're focused on love and we see more love all around us and we bring more love into the world. But when we're fighting what we hate, then we're just focused on hate. And all we see everywhere we look is more hate. And we just wind up bringing more hate into the world. And so sometimes we might need to fight in order to save what we love. I mean, sometimes it comes down to even physical violence, or things can get desperate, and we may need to fight in order to save what we love. But when our focus is on saving what we love, once it's saved, then we can stop fighting. Whereas if we're focused on fighting what we hate, we can't stop fighting until what we hate is destroyed or who we hate is destroyed. And so you can see there's very different outcomes there.
That was at the end of the Star Wars movie?
Yeah, close to the end.
Very end. Do you remember the name of the movie, the actual Star Wars movie?
So I think it's the last one that came out. I think it's called The Last Jedi.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because what you just said, I agree with that, because does anybody follow Abraham Hicks?
I haven't heard of
Abraham Hicks. So it's a spiritual message I get each day from Abraham. And Abraham is a voice, a spiritual voice that speaks through Esther Hicks.
Oh, I've heard of her. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So she always talks about that we have so much. Well, I shouldn't just see, because it's Abraham speaking through her. So Abraham talks about that in the United States. We have so much fighting going on, right? Because what you just said is so perfect. We actually, if you read all the headlines of the news and the newspapers of late, and when I say of late, maybe even last 10 years, we fight what we hate.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We're always fighting, and we're fighting the enemies. We're fighting what we hate, as opposed to focusing on what it is that we love and taking care and saving what we love. We're fighting all the time. So Abraham's message was exactly what you just said, that we have so much negative things going on in our world, and we wonder why sometimes, because that's what we choose to focus on, right? And then that very common saying, you will get what you focus on.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. And like you said, especially politics in this country, the last many years, or the last several years, have become so focused on just fighting the other side. I mean, how many times, how many elections are we voting against the other candidate instead of voting for the one we like? And this happens on both sides of the spectrum. I mean, it kind of goes back and forth. But I mean, so often everyone is just voting against the other side instead of voting for what they want. And I think there's my mom keeps telling me this example from the Obama administration. At one point, some Republicans got together and proposed a bill and submitted it to the Senate or whatever. And the Obama administration looked at the bill and decided that it was a good thing they liked it. It was a good bill. And so the Obama administration supported the bill, and then the Republicans withdrew their support from their own bill because the administration supported it. No, I don't, my mom can't remember the name of which bill it was exactly. And this is hearsay from my mom. So who knows what the exact details are. But I mean, I'm sure this has happened on both sides, going both ways. And I want to make it clear. I don't think either political party is that great. I mean, I support Democrats a little bit more than Republicans, but I think the whole system is so corrupt. And
Yeah,
but
I agree.
so but there's this idea that they would remove their support for their own bill just because the other side supporting it. I think that capulates her. I mean, that's exactly what I'm talking about here. That and so they wind up fighting against what they wanted to do in the first place, right? Is it's so unproductive to adopt this mindset of focusing on fighting against what we hate. And because when we do this, we tend to really demonize the other side and dehumanize the other side. And then it makes it impossible to work with the other side when we're so focused on what we hate. Whereas if we're focused on what we love, what we want to see happen, then maybe we can work with people on the other side towards this common goal. Because we all just want to be happy when it comes down to the end. I mean, we all want ourselves to be happy. We all want to be able to provide for our families. We all want the country to do well, but we're so caught up in fighting against the other side that we can't work with the other side, even though it's half the country. I mean, we're almost perfectly split between conservative and liberal, Democrat and Republican. So it's not like I don't understand how anyone thinks we can defeat the other side, or I don't know what the idea is. You want to just get rid of all those people that don't agree with what we believe. And so, yeah, I mean, we just need to figure out how we can work with the other side in order to bring about positive change instead of just fighting what the other side's doing all the time.